Bowers Game Corner presents Gencon Video Bonanza 2015. Brought to you by Gatekeeper Games, makers of The King's Armory, Thunder Track, the new sequel to Turbo Rally Card Racing, and the generous support of our Kickstarter backers.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for more of our Gen Con Bonanza, brought to you by Gatekeeper Games, one of our awesome sponsors. Be sure to check out the Kickstarter link below. Today I'm going to be talking about the Geek Chic XP Night at the Zoo. They're starting a new line, Geek Chic XP, where they do a bunch of events at various different, I believe this is the opening thing. They got some different events all around Indianapolis for Gen Con. So we were lucky enough to go to the Geek Chic Night at the Zoo. It was from 2 to 8 p.m. It was $85. It got you unlimited rides, got you entrance into the zoo. That's for one person. A free dinner, which ended up being hot dogs and hamburgers, but they were very fancy looking hamburgers. It wasn't just, kind of like lunchroom kind of stuff. And yeah, just free access to the zoo and unlimited rides and that. So $85, what are my thoughts on it? The first thing was I wasn't quite sure what I was going into when it came to it. I was excited and I was like, oh, it's like a gaming thing, so there'll be games there. Not so much. There was no games at all. I think there's like maybe we saw like a couple tables busting out of games, but there was no we kind of expected like there to be things set up or gamey things or special events. None of that whatsoever. In fact, the first 4 hours was just zoo. It was just people going to the zoo, which is, I love going to the zoo. I go to the zoo with my kid all the time, but $85, that's incredibly steep. Then we expected, we finally sat down and we saw a bunch of people from the gaming community, a bunch of people from the Dice Tower and Board with Life, a bunch of other people, and it was just pretty much kind of like a barbecue, I think would be the best way to put it. It was just tables on a tent, people talking, people eating, a lot of people lingering to see if there was something else that was going to happen, and then, yeah, I didn't feel like anything else kind of happened. So what are my thoughts on it? It's a cool idea. I believe the Geek Chic XP is a very cool premise, but I understand the tables are expensive, and it's going to appeal to a certain group of people, but God, $85, that is incredibly expensive. Like, I feel like you could go to a restaurant and then go to a movie and then heck go buy a cheap game for $85. I mean, that's per person. So if you're talking about maybe taking a kid, I mean, you're looking at like $255 to go to the zoo and eat hamburgers and hot dogs. That's just ridiculous. Now, granted, you get to ride the rides and stuff, but no, just for my money, I didn't think it was well worth spent. Now, I don't know the actual cost to get into the zoo, and I understand you're downtown Indy. The prices are going to be a little bit more expensive, but that was still a con for me. Also, there's no shuttle to or from this. It wasn't that lengthy of a walk, but it was, I feel like for gamers, it was that lengthy of a walk. It was, I don't know. I'm going to stat check real quick. What do you think, about a half mile? Maybe a mile? Yeah, probably about 1/8 of a mile. So it was a lengthy walk, and it was 90 degrees. It was hot. So yeah, overall, Geek Chic XP Night at the Zoo, cool idea. Not the best implementation. Definitely one that if they do it again, if they don't retool it, I probably would not recommend going to it. But still, cool premise. I'm excited to see where Geek Chic XP goes from here. So that was my thoughts on the Geek Chic XP Night at the Zoo at Gen Con 2015. Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel like that's a fair price for unlimited passes, zoo passes, dinner? Or do you agree with me that it's kind of way on the pricier side? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below and stick around to Bowers Lounge Corner.
Bowers Game Corner presents Gencon Video Bonanza 2015. Brought to you by Gatekeeper Games, makers of The King's Armory, Thunder Track, the new sequel to Turbo Rally Card Racing, and the generosity of these great companies. They support us, go support them.